Today is Wednesday, December 12th, 2018. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor, David versus Goliath, Week 12.
This episode's titled, Are You Feeling Lucky? Wait, who said that?
I don't know. That's your job.
I just realized I totally spaced that. Okay, I'll have to go back and look for it.
You were too busy bobbing up and down on the sofa to
What?
your,
That's
to
just
your
now.
music.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I like that intro music. It makes you move.
Well, I didn't
Those
have
drums.
the headphone on, so
That's
I
your
didn't
choice.
hear it.
Your choice.
Well, usually you like directing me, so that's why. Okay, we digress. Previously on.
There were 4 Davids and 4 Goliaths, Probst tells us. Thank you for the math, Jeff. Nick and Gabby targeted Christian, but Davie warned him. And Christian played a hidden immunity idol, leaving the Davids in disarray. Little alliteration there. It's night 32. We're back at camp, and everyone's saying, well played. Well played, idol, Christian.
And he has computed the votes, and he knows Nick was one of the 5.
That's right. He says he has suspected Nick for a while now.
Well, of course.
Nick tells him, you're a good sport. But really, Nick's thinking about other things.
What'd you think about Nick's whole plan with the fake idol
loved
and
it.
finding in front of everybody?
I loved it. Not only, now we've definitely
Awesome.
seen him before, and we've seen him hidden for other people to find, but his twist which was, oh, and then I'll find it. And that'll work
front of
even
people.
better. Yeah, to discourage them from looking.
And then only I will look. However, that didn't quite work out the way he thought, because Davie really wasn't buying it because
I
he
love
knew he
that.
had one.
That was great, wasn't it? Yeah, another awesome
Good on
episode.
Nick and Davie.
Absolutely.
So he's suspicious, and he wonders if he was just using the current idol because he wasn't there. He didn't get to really see.
So he
see
didn't suss it out exactly.
No, but he was suspicious.
Yeah, it was enough, and he figured it out to a point to where it worked to his advantage.
And he kept looking.
Angelina, Christian, and Mike all seemed to fall for it pretty
Yep.
clearly. So
Yeah, why not?
Nick pulled it off.
It appeared he found it right there in front of him.
Bought himself some time so he could search for the real one. That was just the only hiccup in the whole thing, wasn't it?
Yep. Though I think it does
well
show
played,
his
well
hand
planned.
a little,
Yeah.
when he was outed. But okay. All right, reward challenge. Got to go over and under some obstacles and judge the amount of rope, which a few people came up short. Knock over the blocks. Then they get to go to a beach club.
So I think the last time we saw this was with Keith winning it, wasn't it? Keith Nail. Stick to the plan. He was the one who took his time and won it out the previous time we saw this challenge.
I did not remember that.
I didn't either. I read it somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Probably on the subreddit.
I don't even know those sites, so I wouldn't even know where to go look.
Classic helicopter ride over to a resort. Good stuff.
So you're just going to skip over the challenge, basically.
No, that's what the reward was. They tell what the reward is at the beginning.
Going to reward.
No.
Okay, so Davie, he gets it really good and very fast.
Yep.
Except
Out first.
once he throws all the bags, he can't reach all of them.
He realizes he can't retrieve them all. He doesn't have enough rope, but he does have just enough to get 2 that are there.
Yeah,
and so he
2
makes
at a
it
time.
work.
So yeah, he makes it work.
Yeah.
So and it probably did save him some time just working with those
it definitely
2.
did, because Nick came in with a flurry. He had a huge hit right out of the gate and caught up with him.
Well, Kara did pretty good too.
She did until she had to go get the bag, but Angelina showed us that trick just before Kara. So
Yep, neither one of them had enough
Couldn't
rope.
reach any of her bags. That was great. And then we find out Kara, who was doing so well, and I thought, oh, she's got a chance to win.
Was
She's
kinda
got an
hitting 'em
arm
at the bottom. Yeah, she
she's
did good.
Good arm, and then and she's been doing great in the physical challenges all season. And then come to find out, she can't get hers either. So she blew it.
And it basically just came down to Nick or Davie. They were head to head.
Head to head, one block apiece. And then they both
Davie
missed it, so there's some
wins.
good tension. And then Davie pulled it out. Nail biter, they said. A real shootout. I think is the way Probst described it.
So, did you think Davie would take Nick?
That seemed logical. I wasn't really thinking that
since they
far
were
ahead
kinda
either.
together.
Yeah, because of the family visit reward and Nick doing that. And Angelina.
But I did too.
We both chose you,
We
Davie.
both chose you.
Yeah, she says loud enough to hear, but not totally out loud. And then
Oh, it was out loud enough.
Probst,
Everybody
yeah,
knew.
it was. Yeah. When I got rice for the tribe. I don't want to do this. I don't want to play this
I don't
card.
want to do nothing. But I will.
Yeah, but I will,
and then he
I
chooses
did.
Kara anyway.
Yes,
so.
which was perfect. That was perfect.
Well, she had my back on the Vuku tribe. I
Yeah.
owe her. So.
Yep.
Eh. Thanks for the family visit, Angelina.
No, but and that was Nick.
Yeah.
I don't know that
And
that was
the rice.
her. She agreed to Nick's plan, but
Yeah. Well, they both chose one apiece. Okay, so anyway, he doesn't choose Angelina.
yeah.
And all you could say is, Natalie. Natalie. Natalie.
Right. Davie? No. She got the same response
So
from
she's
Davie.
really ticked about it, though.
No
so
jacket,
much so.
no rice. No rice
Yeah.
for you.
So much so she openly talked about it back at camp.
I'm
how
angry.
really upset and angry.
I don't
she
often share my feelings, I bet.
was. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then she makes a huge pot full of revenge rice.
That's it. Revenge rice.
Okay.
There we go. I didn't want reciprocity, but
Yes, you did. Over and over again. Mhm.
chose blonde Kara over you, Angelina. Davie tells us that his plan was to keep his frenemies close, that being Nick, and his friends close too, that being Kara. So he's got a positive perspective on Kara.
Well, and he wanted a chance to talk to her alone.
Yep. And sure enough, Nick informs us after they've been feasting for a while, I overdid it, and he steps away, and now it's time for Davie to hatch his plan with Kara.
And to share with her that Nick has two idols.
He did couch it.
May have two idols.
Yeah, he didn't go all in on it. He said he may have to. And Kara's ready to go. She's like, that's a
Yeah.
fine plan.
Good for my gang.
Yeah, Nick is
long
a
as it
huge
ain't
threat.
me.
Yes.
But then she goes back and tells Alison the plan. But they say don't tell
Big
Angelina
mistake.
or Mike.
Yeah.
Because they think they might tell Nick. Interesting. So,
Mike was the welcoming committee when they got back. But yeah, Kara gave him a quick hug and went right to Alison to spill the beans. So Kara can't be trusted. Wonder if Nick will suss that out.
well, then Alison tells Mike, so
And Alison just relieved it's not her. For a change. So she thinks. For a
'Cause-
moment. For a
yeah.
split moment.
she shares with Mike because she's wanting to keep
Short
him
moment.
close. He's pretty much all she's got, it seems.
Yeah, they had their opportunity and they squandered it. Although, if you hear them tell it now that it's all about it's vote to vote, it just doesn't seem to work out that way in the end.
I wasn't sure where Mike was coming from because he said he and Nick were bonded, but he wasn't sure what he'd do, and he needed to make a.
Oh yeah,
Needed
the
to
Rock
make a
Star
move.
Alliance.
Yeah.
But he wanted to surprise himself with the choice he would make. That sounds like someone who's making excuses, who's too tired to think it through.
Yeah.
Yeah, which you got to be exhausted at that point for sure.
So on night 34, Davie decides to search for the idol again.
I think that was early in the morning.
It was,
Wasn't it?
but
Yeah.
it was he kind of started during the night, I thought, and then went into the early morning.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was
thought it was
thinking,
him
at
up
daylight.
early.
Well, kind of both.
He finds a clue to an advantage. Yeah, sure, you can claim it either way. Late night, early morning. Same difference, huh?
Yep, that is to me.
And he ends up finding a clue after searching and searching and searching. And it tells him, hey, go back to the merge feast location.
Which is, again, on the other end of the island.
So he
Just like Nick had to go a long way.
plays it cool, and he takes advantage of the weather. Starts raining, and Davie's out playing in the rain. Reminded me of that little girl up the street that was out playing in the puddles during the rain with her dad. Do you remember that?
No.
They come by and they sell the Girl Scout cookies to us every year.
Oh, those
That
kids.
time. You remember she's so tiny? She's
Yes,
just
but you didn't
tiny,
mention
tiny.
to me they were out playing in the rain.
Yeah, no, I've told the story before, even on the podcast, I think, is that she was just out having such a good time. Her dad was right out there with her.
Now, I have no recollection of that.
That doesn't mean you hadn't been told
That's
it.
true. But I have no recollection of that.
That's fair.
Ever.
Sure, okay.
Okay, but that's happening more and more.
It's refreshing. What a
yeah.
nice story
It's all new to me, baby.
about a dad and his
all
daughter
new
then.
To me.
Yeah. Anyway, he just looked tickled to be out playing in the rain, so he's off having fun, chasing octopi and frogs and snakes.
And he finds the hidden immunity idol.
Yeah, all right. So nice twist.
Yes,
I love they brought this back.
Yes.
So here you go. Here's an idol, but you have to use it. It's got an expiration timer on it. Now you can extend that. Got a 50-50 shot
If you're willing to lose
that
your
you can
vote.
take twice. Yeah, left or right in the first row, and then if you wager your vote and you get to keep it, then you would have another opportunity to extend it beyond to the last possible tribal council. And he mulls it over. What did you think about this process for making his decision?
It was as good as any.
There we go. Yeah, he prays, looks for a sign, and I don't know. I guess the wind blew
That's
the
something I
flame
would do.
in the direction that he had already thought that he wanted to go. So
Yep,
there you go.
go.
That was the confirmation
That's
he
right.
needed. His prayer was answered. Okay. Well, I like the twist, and he decided not to take him up on it, not to risk losing the vote. There's just too much at stake, and I liked how the editors did it, where you could see that he was going through all kinds of options. Like he was trying to enumerate them all as he was thinking about all the possibilities leading up to his decision. So I liked their idea of leveraging the twist there, and I certainly liked how it played out. Enjoyed that.
All right, immunity challenge. They stand on a narrow perch, balancing up to 3 balls. So everybody makes it through the first round. Everybody keeps their ball on the disc.
This is just such an excuse for Probst to make jokes. And he was really working it this time. You could tell he was making strategic pauses in his sentences just so that he could get all the double
Just
entendre
so he
out
could
of
make
every one of
Stacy
them.
laugh, which you did,
Yeah.
like the little boy that you are.
Sure. Yep.
And so for me, it was more entertaining listening to you laugh.
All right.
So first out, Kara, and then Angelina, then Davie,
Yep.
Christian, and Nick. They were the first ones out. And then they were down to Alison
In the second round, you're
versus
saying.
Mike.
Yeah,
Yes.
what an unlikely showdown. I mean, not so much Allison, but to have Allison versus Mike?
I never
For
thought
round
Mike
3?
would make it through the first round.
No. Well, and Allison's feet, Probst pointed out multiple times, had been wiggling the whole time during the challenge. So
yeah,
she'd been
even when she first stood up there, she was kind of balancing,
and she's got her
wavering
foot
forward
wrapped
back.
and she's got a toe wrapped, so she's had injuries to her
Yeah.
feet and ankles and that area down there, but she managed to gut it out right to the
Yeah.
showdown with Mike, and it looked like Mike had lost it for sure, and then boop, cut over to Allison.
Allison.
And she dropped.
Well, I was cheering for Mike because I had Allison to go home, as
Yes,
did you.
yes, we were very happy for this moment.
After we were so adamant that they, of course, were going to go after Christian, and all the other stuff was just,
When
fodder.
we molded over
And we mulled it over and went, well, yeah,
independently,
Allison.
yes.
So probably Christian's going to pull something out of his head again.
I was thinking
They
someone
let her
would
go with
protect him
Allison.
again. It's like, this has happened too many times. So, yeah, that's how we ended up at Allison. So we were happy to see her lose and happy for Mike to see his win.
Yeah, and we both had Christian safe too.
Mike
so,
was
pow.
Mike was, you just can't help yourself.
I can't.
Mike was thrilled. He gave it a fist pump, and he tells us he's a little less nervous now. And he's going to this is giving him some breathing room so he can do what'll serve his game best.
He's going to swing from the hip on this vote, whatever that means.
Not for the fences, but from the hip, like shooting from the hip. So swing it from the hip. That's what happens when you get tired. You mix your phrases up. So we got a fish. We've got school of fish. We got dolphins, and we've got a bird hovering over the fish and diving down in to spear one. And we're back at camp. So it's a good wildlife shots.
And Nick tells Alison and Angelina, he tells Angelina, Kara, and Mike he wants Alison out.
Yeah, he wanted Christian, but he's really wanting to take out Alison now that she's vulnerable again.
Yep, and they all go, okay.
Sure.
And then run off and make other plans.
Yep. Kara's still excited about the idea to go for Nick.
Yep, and Mike really has decided.
He's got a different plan.
He really wants Christian out instead of Nick.
Well, and instead of Alison. So it's okay to get Alison, but really the big target is Christian.
Well, and Alison wants Nick. Mike wants Christian. So he approaches Nick about Christian.
Yes.
I mean, there's a whole lot of talking going on in this one. And they're right. They are doing voting blocks, as it's been dubbed.
Yeah, which is just a name for a short-term alliance, which is people bonding together for a common cause.
Okay, here's where I thought it was going good for a while. Nick admits to Davie that, that second idol's fake. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, Davie trusts him again. Oh, yeah. He's not lying.
I'm glad you told me,
Davie.
He's
telling me the truth.
Yeah.
So now I'm not after you anymore.
Pivot to Alison.
Yeah.
And we're happy.
Yep. We're going, yes. Okay.
Good job. She needs to go.
So that's all it took for him, and
Mike's getting a little frustrated, though. They're not biting on his let's get Christian plan. So he decides to lay the cards out on the table there for Nick and tells him that Davie is gunning for you.
Davie and Kara.
And he even tells him he came up with the plan while he had you out on reward with Kara. To Nick
they had
replies,
their own agenda.
That's dirty. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's dirty. I got to take out Davie.
So, it was just like, oh, good grief, now I don't know who's going home.
Yeah, well, you're right there with Mike. Mike tells us that he's still targeting Christian, but he's basically overwhelmed with the possibilities. Even though there are less players, he still is he's struggling to come up with the right target here, the right plan.
So, going into tribal council, we were like, okay, well, it's either Nick, Alison, Davie, or Christian.
Yeah, so that's another testament to the great editing this season.
I had no clue.
So the previous templates that they worked from have two options, but they've been really good this season. We often go to tribal council looking at 4 people at risk to keep it even more exciting, more up in the air, and there's been some plausible backstory behind each of those. At least that's how I see it.
No. Tribal council, Jeff asked Nick, any shift in the pace of the game, Nick? And he's like, going 100 miles an hour, Jeff.
Yeah, Probst was hunting. He tried to feed him with it, or people playing more conservatively the closer we get to the end. But he said, no, it's just the opposite, more aggressive. It's fast. Angelina gives us a Captain Obvious quote there about how you can't trust, but you need to trust. And
I have to trust too. I think I can go to the end of
Davie tells us, you got to trust, but do you trust the one that you worked with on day one, or do you trust the ones that you met at the merge, or do you trust the ones that you met during the swap?
In other words, who do I trust?
Yeah. Probst gives a summary and then pitches it to Christian as a question in terms of what's the game about in terms of loyalty.
And Christian's like, I'm just willing to work with whoever will work with me
after getting all these votes.
Everyone's written my name down.
Yeah.
And then Alison goes into
they're patting themselves on the back is what they're doing. We're playing a high level game, so it's about blocks and it's fluid and we're moving, and Davie jumps
week to week and
not about long standing alliances.
And Mike's like, no, we're not holding on to any grudges. Tomorrow's a new day. Don't worry about that.
I liked Mike's answer, his response on that, I think, better than everyone else's. So I voted against you. That didn't work, but here's what our plan is now. and not trying to grudge it. Unless you're Angelina. You know Angelina's
Yeah.
grudging everything.
Well, I'm not sure the others aren't. Some of the others aren't either.
Sure.
And,
Well, there's what you say, and then there's how you feel.
Yeah, and
So,
if Mike's name had been written down as many times as Christian,
yeah.
he would feel differently.
And how many times did Christian say his name had been written down? 15. Said he was headed towards the record.
Yeah.
So he was pleading with them, no more votes for me, please. So Nick and Alison all congratulate themselves on playing at a higher level and focusing on common threats, which
Yep.
Alison says is me.
Yep. And she said it's really hard to stay off all the hit lists.
Yep.
She's managed so far, though. So Christian is willing to work with you, so he just says stop voting for me, which you just mentioned. But
Mike tells us again about how complicated this process is, trying to let the fans at home in on the difficulties they face while they're out there. And he tells us that at this point, he's thrown his hands up. He's decided to share all his cards and see if he can make an impact here.
yeah, not buying it, Mike.
All right, so they go vote, come back. Probes ask about hidden immunity idols, and
Davie says, yep, I think I will, Jeff, and I'm playing this one for myself.
surprised Alison. She gave a wow there. She mouthed a wow. What did you
Then-
think about the next sequence of events?
I wasn't sure why Nick admitted that was fake. I guess because Probst was about
It's going to come
tell
out
it.
either way, so
Yeah,
I don't
no,
think he's.
but-
I don't think he's losing. I differ, I guess, a little bit on you with regards. I don't think that has any impact.
No, but it shows how hard he's playing. That he had a fake. That he made a fake idol,
Yeah.
and we didn't get to see him making it. So we don't know where he got all his supplies, but obviously
said
it
he's
was
collected some
realistic
things.
enough.
Yeah, because they all look pretty rustic.
But he did it so he could get a read, and he told him he did it so he could get a read.
It just didn't.
And then he looked at him, and
Didn't help.
Angelina's like, "I don't think you need to play it."
At which point you're like, oh no, yeah, I'm playing it.
it.
I ain't
So-
gonna trust anything she says.
Well, the thing is she was right. However, he got a totally wrong read,
Let's-
as it turns out.
Yeah, and let's try this. Let's give her some credit. Maybe she knew he'd have that reaction to her because she's a little tuned in to how much they're not in favor of her.
And she wanted to get it out of the way.
Yeah, and we'll just give her credit for helping flush it. How's that?
Okay, maybe.
Yeah. There. So now she's got the rice and she flushed Nick's idol.
Though they did
What a
vote
resume.
in the same block.
Yeah. Even
Okay.
sneakier on her part.
Lordy, lordy.
That gives her cover.
Jeff reads the votes. There were 2 votes for Davie,
Does not count.
Which-
Does not count.
which we found out were Mike and Alison, who did
What?
not vote for Christian.
And
I
if you
don't get
thought
it.
Mike was acting, using his acting skills about how confused he was, that's all the proof you need. He's not going to even get credit. His votes don't count.
Yeah. And
He
then
completely goofed it.
Allison got 2 votes from Davie and Christian. And then there were 2 votes for Christian, 1 remaining, and bam, Christian goes.
Christian
So
is out of here.
Votes for Christian were from Kara, Angelina, and Nick.
They get the takedown credit.
Bam.
Yeah.
So that's their resume.
Nick realizes he wasted his idol.
Yep.
Christian took it well. He said, good luck to you all and well played. Probst tells us it's pedal to the metal time. Down to 6. We're headed to the finale. At which point we both realize that we have scored another 3-point week in JSFL.
Yep.
Ooh, ooh.
Well, that seems to be our thing lately.
Yeah. Next time on Survivor.
At least we made our picks.
Yeah, we did. And thank you for all the reminders.
Yes. And I thought, we can't lose a 3rd point off Carl going home.
Yeah, there we go.
If we had not made our picks, it's like,
Just
lost
did not
enough.
choose well.
Yeah, no. Well, the old memory's not what it used to be. Okay, next on Survivor.
There are 6 left. There you have it. They do say some things. I don't know if they're relevant or not.
Well, Nick's saying they lied to my face.
Which I think is a flashback to when the Goliaths lied to him.
Yep.
Right? I think that's just a previous clip, which made me think these are all potentially previous clips. I don't know.
Yeah, Allison's saying, I may be going home today to Angelina.
Which is a thought she's had over and over again.
Yeah, and
Angelina's very supportive.
Yes.
Yes.
And then Mike says to Kara, she's like a cruel psychopath. Mm-hmm. We thought, well, he has to be talking about Alison or Angelina.
So we're going to go with Angelina.
Unless it is an old clip. And he's talking about Natalie or something.
It could be.
So,
absolutely could be.
So we don't really know. Yeah. All we know is that there are 6 left. And next week we'll see who claims the title.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was a great one. I mean, now Christian was your USB, and you had a lot of fun cheering for him up until now. So it's not so great if you were hoping Christian was going to win it all. But
I really am not invested.
Okay.
I don't know why. I'm just not.
He had a great game, and I'm willing to bet he'll get invited back at some point.
Yep, probably.
Yeah. Just hopefully they wait a few years. I don't want to see him again right away.
Yeah, that would be preferable, but that's not how they always do it. But preferable.
I wonder, my first thought as he was headed out was, are they going to put any kind of time limit on him for the jury question at Final Tribal?
Yeah.
Or is he just going to wear them down?
Well, so far they've just kind of let him go.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he's done it within the bounds of a challenge, which that was up to him.
Okay, so the final 6, Alison, Angelina, Davie, Kara, Mike, and Nick.
4 Goliaths, 2 Davids.
Well, and
they managed to make it worse.
My first choice would be Nick still.
Uh-huh. Yeah, excited for Nick. I'm excited for Nick or Davie.
Don't know how he could get there.
There's so much joy in Davie's game, and Nick's playing at an expert level. So I see Davie and Nick playing at the high levels. I see Mike constantly fumbling and bumbling his way into the game. So he tries for these takedowns, and then, he just doesn't deliver. So I don't think that he's playing at the level that they're at by any means or question.
Both Angelina and Kara are playing. They're all playing hard, but I just wouldn't.
Yeah, Angelina and Mike are just kind of wheel spinners. So they're playing, but they're not getting anything done.
And I like Alison, but I don't know that they would give her the money even if she got there.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to help a doctor pay off her school debt?
Probably not.
But what if she's just most deserving? Play the deserving card.
I think she would be deserving, but not as much as Nick.
So look at who's there. Alison has won individual immunity. Davie has won. Kara's won. And now Mike has won. How about that? There's stories there. She's failed to get traction too. I'd say she's a step above Alison and Angelina. But so I got Nick and Davie, they're like tops there at the very top. And then the next level of player is Alison and Kara. And then there's Mike and then Angelina. Mike's won individual immunity. Otherwise, he's been about as effective as Angelina in the context of the game.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Would the 4 Goliaths versus the 2 Davids that are left in the game...
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't they go back to being Goliaths?
Sure.
Because
it's easy.
There is now 4 Davids on the jury and only 3 Goliaths. So why let a David in there? Of course, that would mean there would be more Goliaths, but why not just send the Davids so they don't have one of their own to even vote for?
I thought I knew where you were going, and then it turned a little different. So you're saying the 4 Goliaths being the final 4, right?
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Why not just go back to David versus Goliath and stick together to the... Yes, they've been voting in blocks, but why not? I don't think that any of them would think... I don't think they would think any of the other 3 would be any better or played any better than they did. So I think they would think they had a clear field going into the final tribal.
Yeah, I would be to your
I'm
advantage.
just as good as they are.
It would be to your advantage for sure if you were Kara, Mike, Angelina, and Alison to take out Davie and Nick. Question is, can they? Because there's going to be another idol hidden, at least one other. And there may even be another advantage that comes back into the game instead of an idol, because they've done that before. So there's still opportunities for these two guys who found more things than anyone else.
Yep.
You know, more advantages
And
and
they
idols in the game.
certainly have the motivation.
Yes.
And especially Nick now. But Davie too, since he got votes. So they'll both be extremely motivated. But I don't know who would stay with them or want to go to the end with them. Or go through the final challenges with them even.
Everybody's going to want to bring Angelina. She's a goat. She gets no votes.
Well, I would think they would want to, that Kara, Mike, and Angelina would want to pick off Davie, Nick, and Alison and not go to the finals.
Just
with
because
them.
they see them as physical threats? Is that why you're...
All
or
of the
just-
above, just because they're threats, period.
Right.
And that
The
they...
bigger threats left in the game.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure Angelina thinks, I could beat Mike and Kara hands down. And Mike probably thinks he can beat the girls and
Yes, I know.
Kara too. So,
Negotiate so well, yes.
yeah. So, but
So
whether they
Davie-
can pull it
Davie's
off or
got
not.
a connection to Kara.
Yeah.
Nick's got a connection to Kara because Kara, Nick, and Angelina got rid of Christian, so they get that takedown credit. Mike's got connections to other folks. Allison seems to be channeled through Kara and Mike primarily.
Yep. Though she seems more connected to Mike.
Yeah, but Allison Kara was looking out for Allison and went and shared with her.
Yeah, because it suited her though.
Mm.
So the really nice thing is that everyone is still playing hard to stay in the game. I love that when that happens. You go into the finals and nobody's really a coattail rider. They're in there scheming and plotting and doing their very best.
If you define it as scheming and plotting, then I think Angelina qualifies. Otherwise, I'm not sure that she isn't a coattail rider.
I don't think she's a coattail.
This is what happens to goats.
Yeah, no, I don't see her as a coattail rider. It's just she has, at least from
She's
what
been able
we've been shown, she's let a little of her lesser appreciated personality be known.
Aren't you being sweet? Yeah.
I am sweet.
Alec.
You should know that.
Alec referred to her as a scumbag. So, yeah, by that standard,
The dirt squirrel, somebody said, or something. But
by that standard, yeah, you're being very nice.
I don't blame her for playing, even though I don't like some of her.
She's using what we always
using
look
what
for.
she's got.
Yeah, she makes the most of whatever
You go, girl. At least you're playing.
ability she has in the context of the game.
Playing hard, not giving up. Okay, good deal. If you get there, you got yourself there for sure. You deserve to be there if you got there.
Yeah, see, that's where you and I are always going to differ.
Yeah.
You can get carried to the end,
You can, but
and it's
I
got
don't feel
nothing
like
to do
she
with
has.
your ability in the game.
But she hasn't. She's not one of those people.
Yeah, she's close.
No,
She's
not one of
there
those
still because she doesn't represent a threat. Nobody's
Well-
worried about her winning.
A lot of people are. That's why Mike's there too. People aren't seeing him as the threat. Kara, once Alec was gone, they didn't think Kara was a threat.
Mike's
so,
won individual immunity.
Yes, one.
I think Angelina, to your point there, Angelina might have been in on more of the right side of the votes than him.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and look at the numbers.
Okay.
In any case, I'm looking forward to the finale and seeing how this thing finishes and for what rabbits Nick and Davie might be able to pull out of their hats.
And Elizabeth was not wearing her hat.
Yeah, it's different. She gave it a hat break, didn't
And Carl hasn't worn his to travel at all.
she? No,
Wonder if he left it at camp.
maybe. I didn't see it. Didn't see anybody using it. There's definitely a proliferation of jackets that are
They
being
might not have
used.
dared use somebody's hat.
Yeah. You go wash it out and scrub it a little. It's good to go.
Yeah.
Especially if it's raining.
Don't be washing out nobody's hat.
All right. How about a JSFL update?
I can do that. All right. We have 4 people again, tied for first place in JSFL.
Changes
with
every week with this
53
season.
points.
Yeah, congrats. Good job, guys and gals.
There are 35 people who lost their USB, me, and 78 people who lost a safe point, you and me. 127, congratulations, gained a vote-off point.
Yeah, that's a good percentage.
Yes, it is. Okay, the side challengers. Jay Kindred is in first place with 52 points. Drew and James and Shannon with 49.
Nice.
With 48, Jeremiah. 47, Cold Mike and Parker. 45, Jonathan, Rodney, and Stacy.
I slid down.
You did. 44, Brandon still
Mm-hmm.
there to catch you a little bit.
All right.
And with 40, Iron Dave.
All right. That's my basement guy right there.
Yeah, well, next week there's 50 plus points up for grabs.
Yes, there is. Going to be exciting as we head into the finale. So we're looking forward to hearing what you thought about this penultimate episode. Are you really bummed that Christian's out of it? Who's your pick to win it all? How do you think it's going to play out in terms of the final order? The voicemail line, 206-350-1547. Toll free, 844-643-8737. The email, joanneandstacyshow@gmail.com. You can record your own and send that in as an attachment, or write it up if you want either Joanne or I to read it into the show on your behalf. Did you want to add something real quick?
Yes. Next week, if you're playing JSFL, you will be choosing your final 5 order. The 6th place will be implied by your final 5 order, as will your safe picks.
There you go. Good deal. All right, so we're looking forward to what you have to say about this episode and your thoughts as we head into the finale. Feedback is due Saturday, noon Pacific time. Keep it in that 3-minute range, whether you're recording it, calling it in, or writing it up. Makes it a little easier to put it together. The sooner you get it in, the sooner I can get it ready. Likewise for Joanne for the writtens. Anything else we need to add?
Don't believe so. Think everybody's got the routine down.
Yeah, there we go. We'd love to have you come be a part of the listener feedback show before it's almost over.
And help me decide.
Yeah, there you go. Help some folks make some decisions on that final order for the Fantasy League. Anything else? Good to go. Have a good one.